Spring is a wonderful time of the year. Our gardens and woodlands have many blooming flowers. Just what is the importance of the flower for the plant? The roots, stems, and leaves enable the plant to survive and grow. But what is the function of the flower and the fruit? They enable the plant to make more copies of that kind of plant, in other words, reproduction. Let's look at the structure of a basic flower. It usually starts off as a flower bud, encased in protective structures called sepals. Once they expand, we can see the next layer of parts called petals. We'll open them up. And we see the next layer. The next layer are male structures called stamens. Here we just have two of them, but sometimes there are very many. Each stamen is made up of a stalk or filament, and on top there's a structure called an anther. This is the male part of the plant. The anther produces the pollen. The central structure of the flower is the female part, called a pistil. The top part, sometimes it's sticky, is a structure called the stigma. And sometimes there's a neck or tube stalk of the pistil called a style. And down here, a swollen structure, that's called the ovary. If we look inside the ovary, we can see that there are structures called ovules. There may be just one or many. They will actually become seeds when the flower is pollinated. Colorful and fragrant flowers are generally pollinated by insects that are looking for nectar or pollen for food. The pollen is usually sticky, and the insect, when it's moving around the flower, can accidentally transplant the pollen from the anther to the stigma. Then a tube grows down the neck of the ovary, the style, and down to the ovule, and fertilization takes place. After a while, the sepals and petals can fall off. The ovary enlarges and becomes a fruit. And those ovules inside are the seeds inside. This model fruit might very well be a tomato if there are lots of seeds inside. Check out some of the flowers in your yard or nearby park. Take a closer look at the great varieties in shapes and designs. Maybe you'll even be able to see a pollinator. If you have a garden, Be sure to plant native plant species that support native pollinators, that support all the native wildlife around us. Enjoy looking at flowers.